Gerhard Lehmann is proud of his past. A former major with the East German border troops, he has a large collection of medals and other honors documenting 40 years of service.
For me, the most prestigious award is the East German Dagger of Honor. That's the highest recognition of my honor as an officer.
For Lehmann, that honor meant guarding the inner German border. He takes us to the 15-kilometer section he patrolled in the Rhön region. He's proud of the fact that no one ever made it to the west when he was on duty. To this day, he still sees most of the East Germans who fled to the west as traitors.
A country is bled dry when the highly qualified leave just for the sake of better doctor's pay, a better car, or the freedom to travel. They took the education they'd received in East Germany, went over to the other side to enjoy better economic opportunities. In my opinion, they were traitors who committed a crime, and I tried to prevent that happening.
The East German regime was determined to stop its citizens from fleeing the country. By the 1970s, the inner German border had become an insurmountable divide, complete with barbed wire, watchtowers, and a death strip. The newly installed self-firing devices were just as lethal as the mines they replaced. Bernhard Fey was among those who tried to escape. The leg of the 19-year-old concrete expert was shattered by one of the self-firing devices. His speech is impaired to this day.
I wanted to work in either bridge construction, dam building, or tunnel building. That was almost impossible due to the restrictions in East Germany.
On December 23, 1975, together with a friend, Fey made his bid for freedom. The two made their way through the restricted zone and managed to reach the border fence undetected by the guards.
This is where we managed to reach the fence. Every 50 centimeters, there was an insulator and wires were connected. We thought either it's electrified, bell wire, or it's a silent alarm, a self-detonator, or just a bluff.
They poked the wires with long tree branches. Nothing happened.
I immediately started giving my friend a leg up right next to the insulators. My friend climbed up, and I remember he had his feet on my head.
That's when they set off the self-firing device.
There was a bang and a sudden blinding flash, and then it was like I was no longer part of what was happening. I felt as if I was just an observer.
Lehmann was on border duty that night.
I received the information that a mine had detonated in the Geisa section, so I did what my duties required of me. I let my commander know. I informed the various other state bodies, such as the police and the local authorities. I reported to my superiors and, of course, to the local medical services. I didn't have any time for any sentimental feelings.
The border guards also showed no emotion. Fey's friend escaped injury but was arrested. Fey was left in a pool of his own blood.
The first soldier pointed his submachine gun at me and ordered me to remain on the ground. I thought to myself, I've been lying here for such a long time. You don't exactly need to tell me not to move.
Fey was taken to a military hospital and then spent almost 2 years in prison. It would be more than 20 years before the Berlin Wall fell. When it did, he returned to the scene of his attempted escape and made a strange discovery. A birchwood cross had been erected in the West because it was assumed he had died trying to escape.
First, it was a very strange feeling. But then I thought, if I had been killed, it's nice to know there were people who remembered what had happened.
The former East German major Gerhard Lehmann often returns to his former workplace, now empty. He can't conceal his nostalgia for the past.
I can see before my very eyes how much has been destroyed, neglected, and allowed to go to rack and ruin. Many of these posts have been torn down or left empty. It reflects what has become of East Germany.
The best thing is when children come and play here. They run around with their dogs or play ball at the same spot that was once so cold and brutal.